So in this place, they come out of the land of Egypt, and we talked about this. This is how I understand the archaeological record. They flee out of Egypt. They come down the side of Sinai, probably picked up the Israelites who were there in the copper mines in Sinai. They head out, and they run straight into a trap. Anybody here said yes to Jesus and went straight into a trap? You're like, but Jesus, I was obedient to you. And we had a deal. I obey you, everything works out, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Anybody, did you sign up for that program? Yeah, no, that wasn't Jesus selling that one. And so they run into it, and they're like, you brought us out here to die. Weren't there enough graves in Egypt? And here they are, they're in that place, and their leader, Moses, goes, oh! And God goes, why are you complaining? Start walking. And they start walking, and the sea opens up. Again, there's an amazing land bridge right beneath the surface there. And they walk across, and they come into the land, and God wipes out all their enemies. Suddenly, the wilderness does not look so bad, right? You had enemies yesterday, they're all toast today. Yes. And then about 4 minutes later, what do they run out of? Well, first water, and then food, right? And what is their immediate reaction? Oh, Jesus, thank you, the God who destroyed the Egyptians. Thank you that you hear our cry. We are confident in you to fulfill. Is that their response? Is that yours and my responses? Why do you hate me? Some people are like, yes, you know my voice. Anyway, so they come into this land, and they immediately, what does God do? He gives them water. Why? Because, see, if Egypt, think about Egypt is almost like you're in utero. The wilderness is like when you're a baby. How does a baby ask for food? Mother, you may not be aware, but, right? That's how a baby asks to get its needs met. Anybody had a small child look you in the eye and compel you to understand that you are their number one enemy until you give them what they want? Do you know what I'm talking about? That's childhood, right? That's baby, like, give me what I want. I hate you. Oh, you gave it to me. Thank you. I love you. Right? That's babyhood. Babyhood is, you're in there and you're just like, and God, they're like, we need water. And he goes, water. Oh, we love you, God. We're hungry. Give us some. Oh, tell me. We don't like manna anymore. It only tastes like honey. I really don't like honey. And in that moment, what? It's one thing. Anybody here, you know that the worst punishment of all is receiving what you want? Man, can you imagine if you've been living on manna for weeks and weeks, and then you eat meat? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Needless to say, their guts were torn up, right? They're eating like mush, and suddenly, but anyway, they're going through the desert. But the great thing about the desert, the wilderness is an amazing place, and every major person in Scripture spent time in the wilderness. What happens in the wilderness? Well, just what the Israelites had, nonstop presence of God. Like they didn't have to wonder where God was. There was a column of fire. Yep, there he is. Oh, there's the cloud. Oop. They didn't have to wonder where their next meal was coming because it was supernatural provision. He even cloud by day, kept them from the heat. He's covering all their needs and he's caring for them. And it's amazing. Every time they have a problem, oh God, boom. Anybody seen this? A new believer comes into Christ and they're like, and literally, the prayer you've been praying for 20 years, they get in half a second. You're like, right? This is the thing is, in that moment, the purpose, here's the problem is that if we're not careful, we will make the wilderness the destination. And the wilderness is not the destination. What could be better than nonstop food, nonstop presence, nonstop protection? What could be better? Your destiny, for one. But the other thing is, God isn't going to marry a baby bride. See, He's called us to co-labor with him. He's called us to rise up into partnership with him. And that doesn't look like, right? It doesn't. And so the whole point of the wilderness is to give us courage to realize he's worthy of our trust so that we will learn to partner with him supernaturally.